Okay, so now we want to work on updating logs, and there's a couple steps we need to take here. One, when we click this, we need to set the current log and fill this form. So in our actions file, right below delete, I'm going to create a set current action here. So let's say set current log, and we'll say const set current, and it's going to take in a log. And this is strictly UI, no dealing with the back end or anything. So we can just simply return an object with the type of set current, which I'll have to bring in above. And then the payload is going to be the log we want to set. At the same time, I want to be able to clear. We have to export this. I want to clear the current as well. So I'm going to copy this. And let's change this to clear current log. We'll call this clear current and pass in the log. Actually, we don't need to pass in a log. Let's change this to clear current, and we don't need a payload because we're just going to set it back to null. All right, let's bring in those types up here. Actually, oh, it looks like it brought in set current. Do we have clear current in our types? Yes, we do. So we need to bring that in as well. Clear current, and let's also bring in update log. All right, because I'm going to create that now. I'm going to put that right below delete log. Actually, what we'll do is copy delete log. And let's say update log on server. Okay, so we'll call this update log, and this update log is going to take in, it's going to take in the whole log, basically the updated version, and then we're going to make a request to same URL. It's going to be log/id, but the method is going to be put, and we also have to send along the body, which is going to be the log, but I'm going to run it through JSON.stringify. And then we also have to add our headers with the content type. Content type, application/JSON. Okay. So once we do that, we're going to dispatch update log, and we're going to pass along the data that we get back. So let's save that. Now let's go to our reducer, and in our reducer we have to handle set current, clear current, and update. Clear current, and I'll bring in update right here. Okay, and as far as set current and clear current, those are pretty easy. I'm just going to go below the delete here. Let's say case set underscore current. And for that, we're going to return the current state, and then we're going to set current to the payload that's passed in. And then for clear current, let's paste that in. Let's call this clear current. And all we're going to do here is set current to null. Okay. Now for the update, let's go below the delete and say case update log. And we're going to return. So for the update, we're going to take the logs part of the state, and we're going to map through the logs. So state.logs.map, and for each log, we want to take the log ID, and we want to say equals the action.payload ID. So we want to just make sure we have the right ID. If that matches, then let's go ahead and return the action.payload, which is the updated log. else, then just return whatever is already there, just the the log that's already in state. Okay, so not too difficult to understand. Just comparing, making sure it's the one we want to update. If it is, we're sending the updated log. If not, we're sending whatever log was there. So let's save that. And now what we want to do first is in our log item, we need to, let's see, so when we click the text, when we click the message, so we have an A tag here that surrounds the message. And this will open the modal, but in addition to that, I want it to call that set current action. Now we have to bring that in. So let's say bring in set current. We need to add it as a prop. We need to add it as a prop type. Set current, which is a prop type function. And then we need to add it down here in order to use it. Set current. Okay, once we do that, then that A tag, let's go right after the class name, which ends right here. Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll go right here and say on click. And I'm going to call it directly, so we'll just have an arrow function, and then we'll call set current, and we need to pass in the current log, which comes from this right here. Okay, which is passed in as a prop from logs. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, let's go ahead and save that and see what happens. So what's this? ID is not defined. Log actions. Oh, so in our update log, we're passing in the entire log, but I have ID right here. So this is actually log.id. And then data is not defined. Okay, so I copied the delete, which we didn't store anything, and we didn't get the data, so we want to just make sure we put that in a variable, and then we go down here and we say const data equals await res.json. And then we're passing the data here. Okay. So now if I click this, we see set current fires off, and if we look in our state, inside current, we have that log. Now we have to get it into this form. Remember, this is the edit form, right? So let's go to edit log modal, and we're going to have to connect to Redux here. I know this is very repetitive, but it's just what we got to do. So we'll bring in prop types as well. And then as far as the action, we're going to be calling update log here. So let's bring in update log from actions / log actions. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to destructure our props, and we have our update log prop. And then down at the bottom, let's do connect. And we are going to map state to props, because remember, we need to bring in that current value because we want to fill the form with the current data. So we will be doing map state to props. And then for the action, we have our update. Okay, so let's go right here and let's get what we need from our state. So we'll say const map state to props equals state, or pass in state, I should say. And then I just want the current value. So I can simply do state dot log, which will give me the whole state, but I just want the current from it. All right, and then we just do our prop type. So edit log modal dot prop types, and we have current. Current is a Boolean, I'm sorry, current is an object. So PTO, it's not required. And then we have our update log, which is a function, so PTFR. Okay, now since current is being brought in, it's now a prop, so we have to pass it in up top, right here. Okay, and then let's see, we want to set the form data with the current data. So we're going to use effect here. And let's put use effect right under the component level state. And we're going to say if current, because remember it's null by default, but if we click it, if we click the title, then it's the data will get put in current. So we're checking that. If that exists, let's set message to current dot message, and let's set the attention, and let's set the tech. Okay, so we want to set that stuff, and then we're going to pass in current as a dependency here to use effect. All right, so let's save that. Let's see what happens. So if I click this first one, okay, so this is working, but you see we have a bit of a conflict here with the label. So, I mean, this is a materialized thing that happens often when you pre-fill forms, just like with the select. There's just some issues with it. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of the label, which is right here, right? Yeah, let's get rid of this. And now, there we go. Okay, so we can still see, it still says log message here on the add form, but with the edit, there's no reason to have it there. So we just have the actual message, we have the tech. If it needs attention is also checked. So we have that. Now we just need to do the update, which we already have the update action. We just need to call it. So let's go into our onSubmit. And right now we're just console logging. We'll get rid of that. And let's create a new object here called update log. And we're going to set the ID to whatever the current .id is. And then the message, the attention, the tech, and then the date I'm going to set to new date. All right, and then let's call update log, and let's pass in the updated log, and then let's do an m.toast. We'll say log updated by, and then the tech. Okay, and I brought that in, right? Yep. All right, let's save. Let's try it out. So change network card in server 7 by Sam Smith. Actually, let's go ahead and fix one of these. So let's say hard drive failed on 2. Let's say fixed hard drive on workstation 2. And let's say that John Doe fixed it. So it no longer needs attention. We'll enter. There we go. So it's the same log. We just went ahead and updated it, and you can see it's a different name now. Has the time, new title. Good. So we're now able to create, read, update, and delete logs. So the next thing I want to do is the search. Okay, I want to be able to search for logs or filter them out by name and also by the text of the actual message. Okay, so we're going to get to that next.